So throughout the playoffs, but especially the Cup final, I had people asking for my take on the Draisaitl contract, given that he's a UFA at the end of this upcoming season, and people wondering if I think there's a chance he could actually, quote, pull a Gaudreau. I kind of avoided it a little bit, wanted to park it and save it for the offseason, and here we are. I made a similar video with Crosby a couple weeks ago where I expressed a very similar sentiment as I'm going to here. Short answer, I highly doubt he's going to leave Edmonton. I'd be shocked if he did. I don't even really want to play the, oh, could he leave? Because I just really don't think it's going to happen. Now, if that huge tailspin that the Oilers were on to start the season, if that continued throughout the entire year, and the Oilers ended up missing the playoffs or getting bounced easily in round one, I genuinely think we'd be having a bit of a different conversation where this at least would be more realistic than I think it is now. But being 2 goals away from a Stanley Cup in Game 7, Draisaitl said to himself, it's basically as close as you can get without actually winning it. Plus, Jeff Jackson and company have already made a bunch of moves this offseason, whether it's re-signing, free agency, or even trade, to show how committed they are to keep the Cup contention window open now and in the future. Draisaitl has come out and talked about how much he loves being an Oiler, but that stuff is usually par for the course with these types of negotiations. His agent came out recently and made some interesting comments translated from German. There's no rush yet, but either it happens quickly or it doesn't work out at all. It will also become clear whether Edmonton really wants him or not, which, ripped out of context, may sound a little bit alarming if you're an Oiler fan, but don't worry, he also said he's, quote, very confident that there will be an agreement with Edmonton in the end that both sides will be happy with. Also, agent's gonna agent. He publicly stated that Draisaitl's been about 30% below his actual value for several seasons, which honestly is probably true. I give Peter Chiarelli's Oiler tenure quite a bit of flack on this channel, but that was a great move by him, definitely his best as Oilers GM. But now the question more so becomes, okay, what's that next contract going to look like for Leon, given that he's been getting paid below his market value for quite a while now? Is he going to lock in at 7 or 8 years max term like on his last deal, which would take him to about 36, 37 years old? Or, and I've seen this one gaining some steam lately, does he do something similar to Matthews where you sign a 3, 4, 5-year deal, you get paid big bucks in AAV, and then you get to re-enter free agency as a 32, 33-year-old for another payday or a change of scenery if the team's Cup window's closed or you don't like something, whatever the case may be, you leave the door open for that. And look, for Oiler fans, whether it's 4 years or it's 8 years, as long as you're re-signing Leon Draisaitl for multiple years, that's a win, I think, because you've got him not only for the best years of his career so far, but also through the rest of his prime. And yeah, if it is 4 instead of 8, it might not be such a bad thing for the Oilers to be able to reevaluate where they're at in 4 years with a 33-year-old Draisaitl. And yeah, the AAV is obviously going to be high, but knowing that McDavid's got a contract up the year after, and how close they just were to winning it all, I don't think the AAV is going to be ridiculous for Draisaitl. He's going to get paid big time, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's going to be like, wow, he took absolutely everything he could, and now the team's really up against it. I'd say think McKinnon going from 6.3 mil to 12.6, or Pastrnak going from 6.6 to 11.25. Those are both pretty recent too, although with the cap increasing, my personal guess is it's going to be a little higher than both of those guys. Just for fun, I'm going to throw out a guess, and I'm going to say 13 million times 4 years. But now I pass it off to you. What do you think is going to happen here? How's this going to go down, and what do you think Draisaitl's next deal looks like? Let me know who else you'd like me to talk about here. I know I've gotten quite a bit of requests for Patrick Kane and Detroit and Juraj Slafkovsky. Those are coming. Please consider subscribing. I hope you're having a great summer. You're awesome.